All right, hello. This video is going to be about why haven't we taken to the streets, and it's going to be pretty much a general question to Obama supporters, particularly those who supported him during his campaign but are pretty much invisible after it. Start off by saying that I think that Obama's campaign was primarily affected due to the large amounts of people who felt disenfranchised because of about 25 years or so of corporate rule, maybe more than that, but definitely the last 25 years. Corporations have gained a stronghold in this country and willed a significant amount of power. Both political parties are a part of this structure, and corporate media, because of its interests, are completely complacent and neglect to report on it. More specifically, with the black community, um, you have a large distrust for the government and any forms of so quote unquote establishment. It could be media, business. That's due partly because of our history in this country, from slavery to failed Reconstruction to Jim Crow, um, segregation battles, and the 80s with Reaganomics, and then Bush with um, the Patriot Act. So, with all that, you have a group of people in this country who feel um, that they can't trust the system. But yet, still, you still have a large population that takes part in it. If we take a look at the Democratic primary for Democratic nominee for president of 2008, we noticed that initially, majority of black people were supporting Hillary Clinton. Um, this was partly because many blacks didn't know that there was a black person running, and also um, many blacks didn't think that a black person had a chance of winning presidency of the United States. But after after the primaries got rolling, it didn't take black people long to catch what is now known as Obama mania. And when it was all said and done, Obama received around 97% of the black vote, which is unprecedented to say the least. Um, Speak more, I guess, directly to this trance that black people were under. I saw a clip. I want to say it was after it was announced that Obama had won the presidency, and it showed a young lady. She was crying, yelling, tears of joy, and she stated that she no longer had to pay for gas or her mortgage because Obama had won the presidency, and therefore, because she took care of him, he was going to take care of her. Um, when I saw the clip, I laughed a little bit, but then I felt embarrassed for her and for many other Obama supporters. Because me personally, I didn't vote for Obama. My reason being, I didn't feel his politics um, would have any impact on people in my community. Therefore, Um, I didn't get by the Obama bug, so to speak, but I was embarrassed for this young lady and people like her because um, it was clear she didn't listen to anything Obama said during his campaign because he didn't address general concerns such as high employment, um, wealth disparities, and education. He didn't address those things in our community, let alone tell tell people that he was gonna give them free gas and pay their mortgage. So I felt embarrassed for her and people like her um, because, in fact, um, after Obama won presidency, again with that 97% of the black vote, um, he didn't take his first major trip to, in Atlanta, maybe Detroit or Baltimore, um, places that have predominantly black populations. Instead, he took his first major trip to Israel. Um, the only thing you could really say Obama's done for, I would say, the poor black youth, particularly males, would be lowering the disparity between um, powder cocaine and crack cocaine. But he said some pretty noteworthy things, like that black people should pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Now, if this was said to any other organization, there would have been um, a press release, and they would have asked Obama to retract those statements and, in fact, say what he planned to do for this group of people or this organization. But in the black community, we don't have that type of leadership, and instead, what we got were people like the con man Al Sharpton echoing this sentiment. This Al Sharpton's the same guy who has been known for taking some of the bigoted media personalities to task for bigoted statements. Um, I mean, these are people we already know are racist. We shouldn't be supporting their sponsors, anyways. But Obama owes a big deal of his success as president to the African American vote. Could you imagine Obama telling the trade unions, um, not the trade, telling the unions instead of supporting their efforts, fighting against big business union busting, that instead they should pull themselves up by the bootstraps? Or how about Obama telling Israel that instead of giving them billions of dollars every year and voting down any bill in the UN that goes against Israel's interests, that we were going to tell them that they needed to go at it alone in dealing with the angry Palestinians and Arabs they had angered due to their Holocaust of those people over the years. Or better yet, how about Obama telling big business that instead of bailing them out for the second time, that they needed to pull themselves up by their $1,000 loafers? I think it's safe to say that all these groups would have made it their mission to end Obama's career well before his his term was up. Um, and to be fair, I can't solely blame Obama for this, um, because this is a lack of leadership in our community. Um, the major organizations should have stepped up and said, um, they should have brought up these issues before we voted for him, or you guys voted for him, or whoever voted for him did. instead they were pretty spineless. Only person I think even brought anything up was Tavis Smiley, and he eventually got fired from his job on the Top During the Morning Show for even bringing up questioning Obama. So that goes to show you what could happen if you question him. But even though our leaders are spineless, I think Obama should have taken the political high road, and he should have addressed concerns in the black community. Seems um, seems like bad politics to neglect such a large voting bloc. But in reality, the way black people are simply complacent and content with receiving nothing from Obama, I don't see how it's going to change in 2012. I think a recent poll I saw, Obama's support in the black community is still around 85%, and maybe higher than that. I think it was 85%, and that's with receiving nothing from him. It, his percentage it's still extremely high after 2.5 years. So that brings me to my conclusion, which is why vote for someone who, during his campaign, does not really address any issues concerning the black community. Um, and if you made this mistake, and you may have done that because you thought he was actually going to address them once he got in, he just didn't have time to mention it, or he felt it would have been a bad political move to mention it, but he still was going to. Why, after 2.5 years of being in office, have black people allowed Obama to continuously um, go without addressing their issues? Um, I think in my next video, I'm gonna talk about the differences between mass organization and targeted networking, because I guess I want to see some of the comments, but I mean personally, I think that was a big problem when you have a lot of people just coming together. I mean, some people are just paying lip service, but there is a certain amount of people who are willing to do the work, and if you can target those people, then I think that would go a lot better in organizing as opposed to just doing a mass organization. So, but yeah, tell me what you think about why people have allowed Obama to get away with doing nothing for them for the last 2.5 years, and where are all the Obama supporters 2.5 years later? Because during the campaign, you guys were extremely vocal, talking about this change that was going to come, and thus far, it is pretty much the same thing as Bush. In some instances, he's accelerated. So yeah, thank you.